Trump's recent claim that he turned down a visit to Epstein's island really caught a lot of attention, wouldn't you say?
Yep, for sure. It sounds like he's trying to distance himself from a pretty heavy association.
Right, it's interesting. Trump says he never accepted the invite while he was being questioned in Scotland, and this was aired on MSNBC with legal experts bringing in a lot of context.
Yeah, and alongside that, Ghislaine Maxwell has taken a step by asking the Supreme Court to review her conviction, which kind of adds another twist, don't you think?
Exactly. It's like, there's a whole web here. On one hand, you have Trump's denial, and on the other, Maxwell's legal push. Both are stirring up a lot of debate about the broader Epstein case.
Right? So, do you see Trump's denial as a genuine distancing or more of a political move to sidestep the scandal?
Well, it's a bit of both, really. On one hand, he claims he turned down the invitation, which, if true, might imply he never wanted to be part of that narrative.
Yeah, I see.
But on the other, many critics argue it's more like a shield designed to deflect any further probing into his past associations.
That makes sense. But, isn't it a bit suspicious that he only mentions this now, when the media is already hammering on every possible connection with Epstein?
Yes, that's a good point. It's like he's timing his statement to coincide with ongoing legal and media scrutiny. It's somewhat reminiscent of how public figures have spun denials in the past.
And when you think about it, the context is everything. Just saying I turned it down doesn't really address all the questions from, like, his overall relationship with that controversial circle, right?
Absolutely. There's an implicit suggestion here that by turning down the invitation, he's drawing an invisible line. But as many observers note, just a denial doesn't erase prior connections or the suspicions that
true.
linger.
Exactly. Plus, the fact that this was discussed in Scotland adds another layer. It almost feels like he's trying to, rewrite parts of history on a different stage.
Right. Being questioned in Scotland brings an international dimension. It's like the scrutiny isn't just domestic, it's global. And that further intensifies any shadow of doubt.
And let's not forget how MSNBC framed the story, bringing in legal minds like Lisa Rubin, Chuck Rosenberg, and even Philip Bump. That definitely shifts the focus beyond just a remark to a whole legal and political analysis of the Epstein saga.
Indeed, their involvement emphasizes that this isn't just a celebrity quip, it's part of a much larger narrative about accountability and legal responsibility.
Yes. Now, here's a thought. If Trump did turn down the visit, could that really be seen as enough to clear his name? Or is it just one statement that leaves so many questions unanswered?
Oh, it's definitely the latter. I mean, a simple no thanks isn't going to dispel years of questions about who he was associating with and why. It's like building a narrative where one statement is expected to counterbalance a legacy of controversial ties.
Exactly. And what about these critics who point out that this might be a rehearsed line? I mean, do you really think he was just casually saying he turned it down? Or is it more of a political maneuver?
I lean toward the idea that it's strategic. Look, it's like when someone is cornered. They deliver the prepared line that suggests innocence without really offering details. The timing, especially with Maxwell now pushing legal challenges, makes it all the more
Right,
suspicious.
I get that. Sure does. And speaking of Maxwell, her petition to the Supreme Court to review her conviction, how do you see that impacting the narrative?
It adds another dimension of legal complexity. While Trump is distancing himself from Epstein's circle, Maxwell is essentially doubling down on her legal fight. It's like they're both rewriting their parts of the story, one through public denials, the other through courtroom battles.
That's interesting. So, while Trump's denial might aim to put distance between him and the scandal, Maxwell's move is about actively challenging the legal verdicts that have, defined her narrative.
Exactly. They're operating in different arenas, but ultimately they feed into the same larger discourse about accountability and credibility.
Yeah, indeed. And then there's the media's role in all this. How do you think MSNBC's framing, with their detailed legal analysis, affects public perception of Trump's claim?
It's significant. Media framing plays a huge role. By bringing in legal experts, the narrative is shifted from a mere claim to a detailed interrogation of that claim. It's like painting a picture where every word is scrutinized and any vague assertion is seen through a lens of deep legal inquiry.
Totally. It reminds me a bit of when public figures try to downplay controversies with simple statements, but then every expert in the media digs in, making it more complex than it appears on the surface.
Absolutely. It's like a cascade. The more you question one part, the more layers of potential implications you uncover. And this isn't just about Trump. It's a broader commentary on how we handle media, legal battles, and political accountability.
Right. I mean, even if someone were to truly turn down something as controversial as a visit to Epstein's island, in today's climate, every little detail is magnified and interpreted in many ways.
Exactly. It becomes a microcosm of modern political life. And considering the history and the stakes involved, nothing is ever really as simple as it seems.
Yeah, that's spot on. One thing I'm curious about, do you think that by focusing so much on this denial, we're potentially missing out on other important aspects of the unfolding legal narratives?
That's a valid critique. I mean, by zeroing in on a single statement, we might be overlooking the structural issues, like the long standing legal entanglements and the broader political maneuvering. It's kind of like fixating on one brushstroke in a very sprawling portrait.
Right, exactly. And that's where the depth of the analysis is crucial. It's not just about whether he went to the island or not. The real discussion is about accountability across the board in these high profile controversies.
True, true. And if you dig a bit deeper, you notice that this isn't the first time such a narrative has been deployed by political figures. It's almost a recurring motif where a simple denial is used to obscure much messier issues underneath.
Yeah, indeed. And that in turn feeds into how our society questions public figures. It becomes a kind of self fulfilling cycle of suspicion and selective narrative control.
Exactly. So, despite the clear statement, I turned it down, the context shows that it's more of a drop in an ocean of unresolved controversies. And every time you peel back a layer, you're left with more inquiries than answers.
Right, it's that endless cycle. And in the end, the interplay between legal challenges, media narratives, and public perception just makes the whole issue even messier than it might seem at first glance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tangled mess, but one that is, in many ways, emblematic of our current political landscape. Both Trump's denial and Maxwell's legal maneuvers are parts of this broader picture that raises, as many questions as it attempts to answer.
Yeah, for sure. And it definitely makes you wonder how much of this is deliberate strategy versus genuine reflection on events. There's a bit of healthy skepticism to be maintained here.
True, skepticism is key. I mean, if we take this at face value, we're ignoring a whole host of implications, and every statement, every denial, is loaded with political intent, whether that's to shield a legacy or to dodge further scrutiny.
Right, absolutely. It's interesting, isn't it? How one seemingly straightforward statement can lead to an entire cascade of analyses from every corner: legal, political, media, you name it.
Exactly. It's like a butterfly effect in politics. One small statement flutters into a huge storm of debates and counterpoints. And that's why we will see this discussion echoed in forums, news analyses, and think pieces for a long time.
Well, it's been a deep dive, for sure. And even though Trump might claim he turned down that island visit, the complexity of the situation means there's a lot more to unpack than just that one remark.
Absolutely. It just goes to show that in today's political arena, every word is a potential spark for controversy. And while one might be tempted to take it at face value, the layers of contextual meaning and legal undertones remain essential to the full picture.
Right on. Definitely. This conversation really highlights how intertwined media narratives, legal challenges, and political strategies are in shaping public perception.
For sure. And it keeps us all on our toes, questioning each new statement and considering the bigger picture. It's a tangled web, but one that's crucial to understand if we want to grasp the broader dynamics at play.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks for this engaging discussion. It really made me think about all the layers behind what might seem like a simple denial.
Anytime, and thanks for the thoughtful challenges. Stay curious, everyone.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening.